That money they paid me, I saved that money. And to be honest, and a chunk of that money is what I used to start. We're not even allowed to like take a break and go and get a barber or someone. No, you use scissors to cut your hair. I didn't know we were braiding people even at the reception. It was full. Then one day I get a call from my boss and she's like, you know what, Sheila? I'm afraid I'm not going to be able to pay you as you go on your maternity leave.
I'm seated socializing. Somehow your name comes up. He tells us, that chick came and gave me a pitch. I wish I invested. It was just like, you should see her now. She's grown. I wish I gave her my money. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching us from, and welcome back to yet another episode of Unprepared to Entrepreneur, the channel that brings you real, raw, and often untold stories of entrepreneurship. I'm your host, Anne Muhia, and today's guest, oh my gosh, it's a lady I personally admire. I have watched her, oh my gosh, grow from I don't even know from where, and thrive, and she inspires me so much. I am one of her customers and I love her services so much. And for sure this conversation is going to inspire you, because if you see what she has done from literally nothing to where she is today, there's no way you will not get inspired to just go and pursue that dream that you have. Just try. It might work out, it might not, but you'll be a better person for it. And maybe it will work out, and then you will see yourself thrive. So without further ado, allow her to introduce herself. Good morning, Sheila.
Good morning, Anne.
How are you?
Good. Oh, that intro was fire.
Karibu sana.
That intro was fire.
I'm so happy.
Yeah.
I'm so happy to have you in this studio, and I hope we can unpack so many things.
I hope so too. I mean, thank you for having me as well. We've been talking about this for so long.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, you told me about this even before you started filming.
Before you set up.
So
imagine.
I'm glad to be here, and actually it's the first time I'm sharing my journey, like raw. I'm always like, I was just telling her I'm always behind the scenes nowadays, but I'm happy. It's time.
I'm really honored. Karibu sana.
Thank you.
Introduce yourself for those people who are meeting you for the first time.
Okay, well, I'm a jack of many trades, but I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I'm a sister, I'm a lover of life, passionate about hair care, passionate about the beauty industry. My full names are Sheila Ndinda. Should I say the third one? Sheila Ndinda Wamboa. I own a hair studio, a hair salon, if I may call it that way. It's called Spritz Hair Studio, and we also have a product line called Spritz Essentials, where we manufacture products that help with your healthy hair care journey. Yeah.
Karibu sana. I was just telling you before we started when I met you. Obviously, you met me much later, but I met you in 2016 online.
Yes.
And I was a bridesmaid at a wedding. My hair was natural, and I was in between lengths. You know, it's not short enough, it's not long enough, it's just there. It's called Teeny Weeny Afro. Teeny Weeny Afro. You guys have a name for it, yeah.
Teeny Weeny Afro.
And I was feeling quite stressed out because I didn't know of a salon that actually specializes with natural hair. I didn't want to use chemical, I didn't want to braid it, and I didn't know what to do with it. And a friend of mine just told me, do you follow Sheila? And that's how I discovered you on Instagram. So I went there, I looked at, all the content you had done. And I must say, like, consuming your content really helped me with my natural hair journey. Today, my hair doesn't stress me. If, let's say, I need to unbraid this, I will I will fix it,
Yeah.
and my hair will be looking good the next day without me having to go to the salon,
Okay.
which is amazing. Like, you give
Yes.
us real education when it comes to natural hair. I
Yeah.
don't think before you, I had an idea like of what to do. Usually it would be wash and blow dry.
Most people didn't, back then there was nothing happening in Nairobi. So there was nobody that people could relate to when it came to styling natural hair. Many people at that time, there was just that phase of like, natural hair is now trending. Everybody wants to wear teeny weeny afro. Everybody has a kanini flower over here on the side.
Yes.
People who are working corporate that time would meet somebody with a flower over here trying to make their hair look cute. So, I mean, I think at that period of time, I was very relatable because people could see, okay, this is, and I was also working corporate. So this is Sheila, this is how she styled. I remember I had a series of like, how to style your hair for work. Day one, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So it became relatable, and I think that's why many people were able to like view me and also get some tips from the way I was styling my hair.
Absolutely. That's how I met you.
Yeah.
And obviously later on we met in person.
Yes.
And you're a lovely person. We love you.
Thank you.
And so now I want us I want you to take us through the journey.
Okay.
Like from the beginning. And by beginning, I mean beginning before social media, not beginning of the first salon. Like, let's go to the beginning.
Okay.
Like, how did you fall in love with hair, and how did this sort of transition and come about? Take us through the start.
All right.
I feel like there are many people who struggle to start.
Definitely.
And I feel like there is value there.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, wow. Well, the old Sheila, the 10-year-old, 12-year-old, the teenage Sheila hated hair. Like, I grew up, I think I was in boarding school actually. And that is something I've never forgiven my parents for doing. Like taking me to a boarding school in Ushago. Like I was in the Bundus. And then that boarding school, I was in boarding school since class 5. I was, I think I was like 12 years old. And then we were required to shave our hair. Like we didn't have, hair was like, and then it wasn't even like a tiny afro, flat, like my forehead.
Bald.
And bald.
So all of you guys.
Everybody was bald. And then if your hair grows in between, I think before you close or you go for midterm, in between we were not even allowed to like take a break and go and get a barber or someone, or the school to send for us a barber. No, you use scissors to cut your hair. So we always had
oh my god,
your hair is like this. Like it has those curves from shaving with the scissors.
Yes.
So of course my journey with my hair was just horrible. Like I didn't have self-esteem. I hated the person I was just because I didn't have and like all like school events, like we call them visiting days.
Yes.
If you can relate, if you've been to a boarding school, visiting days, closing days, opening days. I was always wearing my scout uniform because we had like a small
kakofia. I remember
I used to, nobody would ever see my head like that. Visiting days, I have my uniforms that I wear the kofia. I did it all through. So that's how my primary life was, my primary school life was. Of course, again, there was not so much awareness from school about like self-image. Back then, were we even being taught those things? No. So you grow up knowing, I don't care about my hair, or I don't look nice, or I'm not beautiful because I'm bald. I think everybody in our class was like, hey, I'm not beautiful, Nobody cared because we just thought to be beautiful means you have to have hair, and these people don't want us to be beautiful. They don't want us to have boyfriends at an early age. That's why we are bald.
Oh my gosh.
So fast forward to when I went to high school. Of course now I'm growing out my hair, but then I'm like, what is this afro thing? Remember, I've not interacted with my hair in that state. Yeah. Of course, what do? I do the creamy crack. I relax it immediately. And when we're in school, again, I lost my mom when I was really young. When I think I was 13. So of course I didn't have like, she wasn't there to tell me, oh, take care of your hair like this. Thank you. It's been so many years. So she wasn't there telling me, oh, take care of your hair like this. So I ended up relaxing my hair, and then I had like a hole over here. I don't know if most people used to have that hole back in high school because this was sleep like this. You don't have
Why was hair
moisturizers
thinning just at the back?
because of friction. You know, when
Friction,
you're
and
sleeping,
you're not moisturizing.
you're not moisturizing.
Yeah,
you're not,
there was something going
you don't
on
have a
over
satin
here.
bonnet. You're just sleeping like that. So just this is where the breakage was. So my hair was not growing. It was just that awkward phase where it's like growing, not growing, breaking, spots over here.
Yeah.
So I just hated my hair. Like I hated everything to do with hair. I completely hated.
Wow.
Even when I was in high school, I still used to create a facade. I used to wear hats and stuff like that. When I'm back home, I used to have like do-rags. I used to tie them or something. Always.
That is not what I was expecting.
Trust me. I think that is now what later on after high school I was like, let's explore. I was always like mischievous, so I wanted to explore different things. I was very, should I use the word naughty? So I wanted to try out different things. So I was like, let's get into this. I can't remember when I even ended up cutting my hair, but I think that time I was just like, I'm done. Let me try out something new. I mean, in between, I was of course doing braids, protective styling, but again, I wasn't like hair is important. I wasn't thinking that angle. Me, I was just like, let me braid, let me give my hair a break. That's all I was thinking. So that period before, as a way to go to campus, I think I'd already joined campus, is when now in the States, there was this trend coming up for women wearing their hair natural. And at that time, I think we started interacting with a lot of YouTube videos. I think many people are watching like just YouTube videos of influencers. That was the period when it was now, I think it was 2014, about that 2014, 2015, 2016. So I was watching just very many different influencers. I can't really remember one, but there was one who stood out. Her name was Cheesy Duru. I still follow her up to date. So Cheesy was like, crazy, crazy with her hair, not. So I used to watch her a lot and the way she used to style her hair. In fact, even I used to copy most of her styling tutorials. So Cheesy is the one who kind of like made me, oh, okay, what is this that she has going on? Oh, it's cute. I can also do the same thing. So just one day I was like, I'm done. I just cut my hair. And by that time, I still wasn't in love.
You're still in the States now?
No, I'm here, but that time we were watching influencers from the States.
I see.
Like we were relating with content creators.
Oh, I
in the
thought you
States.
said you went to school in the States.
I was here.
Okay.
I was here, but there was a wave of YouTubers coming up.
Yes.
And that is a period where now people were watching very many YouTube videos, but we were watching most people from the States.
Yes.
Remember, we didn't have very many content creators then.
No, we didn't.
Yeah. So we used to benchmark and watch people from the States. So just me, my love for YouTube, watching these creators made me go natural. And I was like, oh, this looks cute. And at that period, I was still not in love with my hair. I was just like, oh, let me try something new. I'm tired of my hair breaking. I'm tired of the chemicals. It wasn't like, oh, I'm so passionate. It was just a, testing period.
Yeah, you're just testing to see how this goes. Yeah.
Trial and error. Then I just fell in love. Slowly by slowly, because again, there were no salons. And that time I'm broke. I'm like, where will I go? Which salon will I go to?
It's actually quite cheap to maintain.
Because I was in uni and I'm like, okay, I was working. I was in uni and I was still working, but my salary wasn't that much, So I think I was used to be paid like 7,000, 7,000 bob. So I'm trying to, will I buy outfits or will I go to the salon? So I'm like, oh, let me do my own hair. So that's just how I started. Like the more I started doing my own hair, researching, then watching watching Cheesy, and I'm seeing Cheesy is using Shea Moisture. I'm like, oh, what's Shea Moisture? Interesting. I Google. Then slowly by slowly, I'm getting tempted to order these things online and stuff like that. By that time, I was starting to be an entrepreneur. I've always had this entrepreneurial spirit has always been in me. I think I was born a hustler. Even when I was in school, I was hustling some way or another. And immediately after high school, like my story is all over the place, but I've just remembered. Just immediately, like when I got that IT job, I was still hustling. Like I was doing, I can't remember what side business I was doing.
An IT job?
I was working in IT. I was selling laptops. I was selling Kaspersky. your antivirus.
Oh, really? Antivirus?
That's what I was doing. That was my first job in IT. Yeah, so I still had that entrepreneurship spirit. So I'd already figured someone to, people who used to import things from the States to bring to Kenya. And then I had many friends who used to work in airlines. So I used to send them. So now I'm like, okay, now I have my products. Now let me start my hair journey. So slowly like that, just my love for hair just grew like that. And then I discovered, I love being on camera. I love recording myself. There's this other side of Sheila that I didn't
Really?
think. Yeah. It's
You automatically enjoyed and
yeah.
like
yeah. Just like
I've
that.
had to grow into this. This has been very scary.
I just enjoyed, and then there was a bit of influence as well because I used to have a friend that time who was also in media. She was a fashion stylist, and she was in media, and then she also had a group of friends who were also in that industry at that time. So I think I also drew inspiration from them because I was like, I also had a friend who had a YouTube channel by that time already.
I see.
I even remember my first YouTube video. I filmed it.
Yeah.
I filmed it in our house because I was like, my first YouTube video was like, what was it? It was ponytail tutorial.
I remember it. A ponytail with the long...
Yes, different ways of how to style the ponytail.
Yeah.
So I had like 5. I filmed it in the house.
I remember.
So she was into she was into media. So of course now you get that you draw that inspiration from there. And I was like, she can do this. I can also do this because I'm passionate about this. Because she was passionate about fashion, and then now she used to be a fashion stylist, and she was doing all these things and stuff. And I was like, okay. So I can also do this. And I had a photographer friend.
Why are you doing it? Like, what's the motivation? Why
Nothing.
are you...
Like there was I was just doing it just because I have this friend who is in the fashion industry. She's in the limelight. So I'm thinking even me, I can be in the limelight.
Are you
I swear.
So it's not that deep. It's not very deep.
It's not even serious.
It's
just
something like, I'm passionate about, I have interest in. And I have a friend who's recording, why not also do the same?
Yes.
Really?
I have this photographer friend who I've known since my days in working in IT. Charles, if you're watching, shout out.
Wow.
Charles, I met him when we were literally hustling in town. So I called him, I'm like, let's do this. It was just for fun. I never knew where this would take me. Wow. It was just for fun. But by that time, Anne, I was already, again, remember I've said I had that kind of entrepreneur spirit. I think the first thing I tried to do was sell shoes and handbags. Again, I used to have friends who used to work for airlines. So I used to send them. There's a friend of mine called Charisha. I used to send her a lot. Like, she would tell me, I have a flight to China. I'm like, hey. Then she was so sweet. Like, she would carry an entire suitcase filled with handbags and shoes. So the other day, even I met a client who was like, you used to sell to me handbags. And I'm like, oh. Yeah, like I even, when my phone have saved that Viola handbag client. So that time.
Shout out to growth.
I had that business. So I was selling bags and shoes. So again, it was just fun. It was just like, let me explore this creative side. Maybe I do have it in me because I was already falling in love with my hair. I was doing all these cute tutorials. Then people used to ask me, like I was doing all these cute styles. People used to ask me, what are you doing to your hair? What are you doing? When I'm walking in town, what have you done? What have you done to your hair? Which products have you used? So just from those questions and from posting on Instagram, then I'm like, I can just do for them a tutorial. Why not?
Just for just.
And then again, I had friends who were in the same industry. So I was like, let me do it and see where this would go.
Having done this, it's a lot of work. So who is shooting for you? Who is editing for you? Who's helping you with all these things?
That videographer, he was a friend of mine. So I was like, Charles, just, sort me out. I was like, just sort me out.
You had a leon.
I had like a leon. I was like, just sort me out, just sort me out. Because at that time, of course, I've not invested in anything. Like I'm just literally,
you don't have equipment,
I don't have anything.
It's just an idea.
So it started like that. I think on my 3rd or 4th video, that day, by that time, I was already now, through my friendships, I made connections. So I think that time I was shooting at Fairmont. I can't remember who introduced me to someone at Fairmont, but I remember reaching out to Fairmont and I was like, can I use one of your rooms for a video, And they didn't even charge me. Like, I can't remember this behind the scene stories, but I don't remember paying a cent. Then I got a staycation for one night. That was, I think, in 2015.
Oh, really?
I think,
To just shoot at the location?
To just shoot at the location. So I got a room because, again, if you're doing hair tutorials, it's a lot because you have to do wash day.
Yes.
Then you have to twist your hair because for me, my signature look was 2-strand twist. So you have to twist your hair, then wait for it overnight to dry. So I needed to spend the night there so that I can finish the video the next day.
Oh my gosh,
it's a lot of work.
It's a lot
of work. So that video, just me shooting just there, I didn't know what would happen. You know, that video is what created Sheila Ndinda, the brand.
What happened? Tell me.
That video, that style, I was just there doing I did a Bantu knot tutorial. That
I
video even,
probably
I think it has,
remember
I don't know how many million views. I was just doing, just regular, I was just doing me there, doing my hair. At that time, I think I was confident enough, like now in front of the camera, I'm filming my hair. I'm like showing people, this is my signature look. This is how I do it. So me, I've done my hair, I've twisted it, created the video, edited it, posted it. Then that picture now that I posted now for like new YouTube video, click to watch. That video, even if you go on Pinterest right now and search short hairstyles, it pops up.
Wow.
You can do it.
Yeah.
Just say it.
And I probably remember, it was like an afro. Was it like an afro with a part on the side?
That one.
It's that one.
It's that one. It's that one.
It.
That is the picture that
looked
the picture
so
that
good.
Opened everything for me.
Like that's what we aspire our hair, our natural hair to look like. Like it's up here.
Yeah. I can remember I was just doing it for fun. Like I was just like, let's do something. And I didn't even think that picture would go viral. Me, I just thought, this is just a regular picture like the one they usually take. Yeah. But that picture, it even took me outside the country. Like I was trending everywhere in the UK, everywhere, Ghana, all African countries, South Africa. Yeah,
you're probably in like 1,000 salons in Africa.
My reach, my audience, like was everywhere.
Yeah.
Nairobi was this small. Majority was now South Africa. Everybody has to have so many followers from South Africa. And
I can imagine because it's expensive making hair in those countries.
Even on Instagram, I think I was at 4K followers. That picture took me to like 20K. Oh, that one. And then I posted.
So crazy.
Then the following week I posted day 2 hair. I posted now a picture. Now day 2, the way the hair was looking like. And then I was wearing like green glasses and pink lipstick. That was it. It just took those 2 pictures.
That is so crazy.
Then everything opened up for me. Then I was like, okay, I can do this.
So then
Then now.
So did you like by the time you're going to shoot this particular video, are you thinking this might add up to something?
No.
So when this happens, how are you feeling?
I didn't even think that I can have a career in the beauty industry. I was selling handbags and shoes, and me, I was okay selling those things. I was selling handbags and shoes, and I was also selling like, so as I started my hair care, I was importing those products, my Shea Moisture and stuff like that. And then I used to import like Maybelline mascaras. That time Maybelline was not even selling the mascaras here. So I was importing those things, lipstick holders. And then I used to sell the same people I'm selling to the handbags and shoes. I used to show them, I also have this makeup, and this and this. Then kidogo, I'm doing makeup. I was a makeup artist even, I think, for 2 months. So I wasn't thinking beyond. Like I wasn't thinking that my love for hair, my now growing love for hair, would grow into what it is right now. Never. I wasn't thinking
that is wild to me.
Just that. So that after going viral, I was like, okay, now I need to do more. I need to do more. I can't even remember when I first got my first deal. When I got my first deal, I can't remember, to be honest. But I think I just kept posting, and then at that time I'm feeling now more confident with my hair. Now I could walk in the streets and people would be like, "Oh, it's you, that girl, it's Sheila."
They recognize
They recognized me just from that picture.
Yeah.
And for me, like, I don't know if it's a good thing or bad thing to say. Like when you see me in person, it's the same. I'm the same. My face stays the same. Yeah. Like you'll see me online, and you'll be able to recognize me when you see me in person.
True.
My hair is just the same. I just have the same kind of look. My look is always the same. So people recognized me, and I was like, okay, I'm having fun. So I started having fun with it. At that time, it wasn't still monetary. I wasn't thinking that way, but I started earning small from YouTube because of that one. Because now I had like millions of views. Yeah. So I was earning kidogo from YouTube. Yeah, but it wasn't enough to tell me, okay, I'm going to make a career out of it. I was just having fun with it. I was working full time. Yeah. Still in the IT company, but another IT company. I think I worked for 3 IT firms before moving to hospitality industry.
I see.
Yeah. So I was still working IT sales and marketing. So sales and marketing, again, the hustler in me, I'm over there with my full sales job, and I'm side hustling, selling those things, and then I have this YouTube career. But I'm not thinking this is going to be something. I'm just having fun.
Big. You're having fun.
It was just something to do over the weekend. Over the weekend I can do my hair like this. I can take pictures, cute pictures, because that time Instagram was popping. Yeah. Instagram now was starting to pop.
How old are you at that time?
How old was I? I think I was in
mid-20s.
Mid-20s. I should have been like maybe 24, 25.
Yeah.
About.
Most 25-year-olds, and that's not how they're spending their free time.
No. or 26, 20. How old was I? I need to check. I need to check
the weekends. That's not how you're spending your weekends.
I even remember driving to that forest along when you pass Limuru. It's called what?
Kinari, I think.
That forest. I went there for a photo shoot. I was obsessed. And I even had braids at that time, but I was like, 5 ways of how to style your protective style.
Yeah.
Like now I was getting into the rhythm. I was I'm doing this and people are loving it. People are asking me, what should I use? What else should I apply? I was getting a bunch of very many questions.
At this point, you're not feeling like it's a lot of effort for such little money. And
I was committed. I think I was not even thinking, again, this was something, it's a passion I'm starting now to, I'm loving it. I'm enjoying doing it.
So you're enjoying it?
I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it.
Even if it's not paying, you're enjoying it.
I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
Then I started getting small brand deals here and there. I remember like Dark and Lovely at that time was launching products. That I think must have been 2 years later. And I had this whole partnership with them. The products were really amazing, by the way. I don't know why they stopped selling them in the market, but that time now with Dark and Lovely, I think I did a 1 year
let me tell
partnership with them.
We were foretying you like this.
Yeah.
I started following you in 2016.
Yeah.
Then in 2017, I left employment. I started my own thing. And you know how it is.
Yeah.
When you leave employment, you have a regular paycheck. You make your hair whenever. Now there's no paycheck and you need to, observe and make sure your budget is tight.
Yeah.
So I remember just going natural, like just maintaining my natural hair because it was just cheaper to do so.
Yes.
It costs me nothing. Like when I buy product, which obviously we would come to your page, the product you recommend, that is the one we go and buy. That is how much influence, at least for me, I can speak for me, that's how much influence you had.
It was wild. Do you know what? I miss those days.
Yeah?
My team keeps telling me, we need to see more of you online. And I'm like,
yeah?
That's another story, a whole lot of story. But I genuinely miss.
Kabisa.
Maybe 2025 will be the year that we'll see Sheila back. But I do miss that side. I think once you become an entrepreneur, you're more behind the scenes. And I understand that sometimes my brand requires me to be there, but there's a lot.
When you're starting a company, it takes a lot of time and effort, significant time and effort.
And
I can understand.
Draining. So sometimes you just need that break. But anyway, so
we bought all the brands.
Brands are starting to approach me. I'm starting to make a little bit of small chameleons here and there. Do you know that money that Dark and Lovely paid me? Because now we are keeping it real.
Yes.
They paid me, that partnership was almost 1 million because I was going to be their brand ambassador, I was going to be on a billboard, it was a lot. That money they paid me, I saved that money. And to be honest, Anne, a chunk of that money is what I used to start Spritz.
Wow.
Imagine.
It makes absolutely no sense for me to keep this information to myself. Allow me to interrupt your program just for a little bit to bring you this news. I made over 800,000 in sales working with this brand purely on TikTok in less than 40 days. And when I tell you guys, even I couldn't believe it. It was so wild to me. And this is why it was significant. It was a new page. The content was faceless. And if I tell you the product we were selling, even you wouldn't believe it. Was it luck? No, absolutely no. It was strategy. I have been on this app for over 2 years and I have learned quite a bit. And I want to share this information that I have with you, my audience, a step-by-step guide on how to sell out your product or service here on TikTok. And I know you guys are gonna come at me. You want receipts? I'll bring the receipts. And you know this is not information I can put on the internet, so I hope you join me and we can explore how we can sell out our products and our services on TikTok. Now, this being my first ever workshop, I have limited slots. I don't want to take more than I can chew. So the workshop will be on the 26th of April. It will be a Saturday. 10 a.m. is the time. It'll cost you 3,500 shillings. And by the end of that class, you will have known exactly what you need to go do for you to be able to sell out your service or product on TikTok. No ads, no influencers. new account, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, and that is the power of TikTok. If you have any questions on this, please leave them in the comment section. I will try and answer as many questions as I can before the slots fill up. Don't sleep on TikTok, guys. Do not sleep on it. And if you don't believe me, ask Shiko Ayistel. See you there.
I need to tell the lady who was the manager.
Oh my gosh.
I've never told her. She's called Abby. She's called Abby. I need to tell her. Yeah. So that what they paid me. They paid me almost $1 million. I saved like I think I'm a hoarder, so I saved like 700K. I never used to spend on myself. You know those people who are on a Jenyima. That's okay. Nowadays I don't do that, but that was me then. So I saved the money. So, but by that time when I was getting that partnership with Dark and Lovely, I'd already made some partnerships with small brands. Yeah. You know, Kinasar Organics, upcoming Harvest of Sunshine, upcoming
I know all those
hair
brands.
That time there were those small brands.
Yes.
Now they're not small anymore, coming up in the hair industry because now the industry now was blooming. Now we had like pop-ups here and there. We had like events for naturalistas, and that is also where I went and met fellow naturalistas who already like there were groups on Facebook. There were groups on Facebook of women. I was connecting with them, people wearing hair the same way, you know. We used to have events. So slowly by that time, I think that must have been in 2017, 2018. Slowly now the community was growing. And then I found myself having met people, the same people. I'm like, oh, so even you do this, oh, even you do this. And even now we were getting like very many what are they called, like vendors selling products, because again we didn't have products, so we used to import. We used to use the shea moistures, we import them from the States or from the UK. So now we had, oh, I can get a local leave-in, oh, I can get a local you know, I remember this one, it was called Buki.
I bought the charcoal,
the charcoal basso. Even on my trending video, I had used that one.
Yes, the basso. I'm telling you, we lived in that channel.
So slowly now that side of the hair care industry was growing. Everybody was going organic. There was more awareness around it. So now it was becoming something. It was becoming a thing. Either you get on board or you know. So I was like, I can definitely start monetizing this. So when I started getting the money from YouTube, I was like, oh, I can even approach this brand and do XYZ for them. So I think even, was I paid by those brands? I can't remember, to be honest. But I was working with them. I used to get their products, recommend them, because now I'm like, oh, now we have locally available products which are not expensive. Because at that time, nobody wants to spend, I don't know, thousands on hair products. You just want something great.
Expensive.
It was very expensive. You want something great and something great that is affordable and works. Yeah, so fast forward, and then I got that partnership with L'Oreal. I think that was 2018. By 2017, 2018. By 2018 now, I've left my corporate job in IT, but I'm still in corporate, but hospitality industry. Now I'm thinking beyond. Because when I was working in the hospitality industry, I was interacting with business owners, CEOs of companies. My job, I was a relationship manager. So I was a membership manager. My job was to help the likes of the CEOs and owners of companies join the club and make them comfortable.
Basically the who is who.
The who is who. So those were I had their numbers. I remember I used to floss my friends. I'm like, so I used to, that was my job. So I was a relationship manager. So it forced me to become mature. It forced me to you know, my mind process just completely shifted, because I'm having lunch with these people, because I have to, you know, introduce them to the club, show them around, get to know them, so that I can also make sure that they enjoy their membership at the same time, help them network and all these things. So I had to we had to have conversations, and these are serious conversations of journey through either corporate or if somebody is as a CEO but is an entrepreneur, like the journey through that entrepreneurship. So it taught me a lot, and I started thinking just beyond employment.
What are some of the questions? Because I've had a sitting with some of those guys, and sometimes they ask you a question that leaves you wondering, oh my God, what are some of the questions that they asked you that really pushed you to start, you know, to start considering expanding
I think
your mind?
I think one of the questions, like Bharat Thakra was my member, and I used to go visit him at his office. And I remember one day, I think I had applied for a job there. And then I told him about me wanting to start Spritz. Do you know what he told me? He told me, quit your job and go start your business. And you know, he was willing to give me an opportunity to work at his company, but he was like, I won't even hire you. And he was like, I won't even hire you, and quit your job, go focus on your business.
Why do you think he said that?
Because I think maybe he saw the potential in me. You know, sometimes you talk to somebody and they tell you they want to be an entrepreneur, and you just look at them and you're like, wow. I think by that time I was very disciplined. I was a good listener. I used to ask so many questions. So he knew I would do it. Because I always made sure he's comfortable. I always made sure my customer service was 150%. Always. Whenever he had events, I was there lifting seats. He would see me lifting the seats. And I'm not paid to do that, but I would go an extra mile for him and for his clients, you know, for his events to always be successful. I would do that. I would go that extra mile. So he saw that potential in me. Yeah. So he pushed me. Was like, you need to do that.
Amazing.
So I used to ask them, so how is it? Do you give up? So there were conversations where I was told that it's not easy. It's a lot. It will take a lot, but you better start, and once you start, you'll figure out if you know what you're doing, or if you don't know, take a break, quit, start over again.
You can always go back.
Yes.
You can just go out and see what's there, what's out there. Yeah.
So I'll be honest and say, like, my conversations with these people, it made me realize that I had so much potential in me. Remember, again, and I'll always go back to this, me, I'm a hustler. I was already hustling, but I was like, I need to build a brand. Because now that I was like, okay, I have this. By that time, I think I had like over 50K followers on Instagram. On Instagram.
On Instagram.
Then I'm like, I have all this. Anytime I post something, it will trend. I would sell something. So many shares. You know, so I'm like, what else can I do? When I got that chameleon bob from Dark and Lovely, L'Oreal, I was like, what else can I do? And that time I was even already traveling out of the country with brands. I was like, what else can I do?
Traveling with brands?
I was traveling. What? I went to South Africa to film a commercial with L'Oreal, Dark and Lovely.
No way.
Yeah, and then I was also working with Yves Rocher. I became also their brand ambassador. I went to Paris. Like, things are just like, those were just opening up for me. And I was working full time. I don't even know how I was able to do.
Yeah.
I was still working full time. So things were just opening up, and I started thinking beyond that.
What else can I do? That's a very powerful, simple but powerful question to ask
now
yourself.
you do have yourself, you have this amount of followers, you have people who are waiting for you to say, I'm drinking this glass, this bottle of water, they buy. So now you have to, I have influence. I'm thinking, what else can I do beyond my influence? Like, I just don't want to be working with brands. What can I create?
That's your own.
That's my own, that I can run with it and can be my career. Because that is what now I was, in those conversations, they were pushing me, they were telling me, do what you like. Do what you like best. Even up to now, those clients are my customers at Spritz.
Wow.
Yeah. Someone like Ori has been Ori Cole has been a big mentor. Like, just from conversations, Ori will just open up my brain. She'll tell me, oh, there's this opportunity I saw here and here and here. She's been a customer of Spritz since 2019, and also her daughters come to the salon.
Wow.
Just power of networking. So I was disciplined. I was like, I'm focused. I'd already like gained a lot of experience through customer interactions, and I knew my customer care and my selling level is
good, very good.
Notch. So I was like, now I need to think of something. So now I had this money. Now I've been paid that 1 million. I'm like, now what am I going to do with this 1 million?
You have money. You have influence. You have followers. Assets. I would say that's Instagram and YouTube.
I mean, I have a job still, so I don't really need to
still have a job.
If you're somebody else, they would have just been like, I don't, But
so what are the options you have at that point in time?
So I was like,
what are you thinking?
I'm thinking, what can I do within my line, which is hair?
Which is hair.
To be honest, salon was the last thought. The number one thought was a super cosmetics. I wanted to open a retail shop.
Oh.
Yeah, because at that time we didn't have enough products. Remember, they were coming up, but there were not many. So I was like, oh, many people are importing. People want, because anytime I would import something, I would sell. I even used to sell, I think, shemusha on my page.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, why can't I not open a retail shop and sell this shemusha and stuff?
Yeah, but you're selling for other people.
Yeah, I even remember doing I even remember doing like what are those things people do for if you want to like a case study, so that I can give a
like research,
like a case study research, and then I was looking for an investor so that I can be given enough, because that 1 million was not going to be enough.
like a pitch,
like a pitch deck. So it was like a pitch deck to one of the members who was my friend, so that he can give me some money,
yes,
to go ahead and run this thing that I wanted to do. So I did it. I think I pitched it to him. It was the first pitch deck I ever did, like from an investor perspective, like from wanting to be given money, and I didn't want to go borrow with at the
for
bank.
the cosmetic
for the cosmetic. Salon was nowhere there. I was not thinking. I was just thinking cosmetic. I'll sell something like that. I was not thinking anything to do with the salon. I used to do my hair at home. I wasn't pressed. When I want to braid, I used to go to Kenyatta Market. When I want to do a silk press, I used to go to Amadiva. Like I wasn't thinking salon. So I did the pitch deck, and he wasn't a local member, so he was very busy. He was hardly coming to the club, and I think just time went by, and I was just like, let me think of something else.
Oh,
I was
really?
like, I told myself, it's like this one is not working out because he's taking so long to respond back to me because he wasn't in town, and I don't want to keep harassing him with messages, like, what do you think of my pitch deck? Because again, this is someone who has invested in so many other businesses in Kenya, including also salon businesses. And it's so funny, but that I didn't know at that time. He had invested in one of the a salon that I know of. I didn't know. So I was just thinking from a perspective of, I know he's a good investor. I know he believes in startups. He helps startups to rise. And he's the only person I had approached. I hadn't approached many other people that I had connections with. I hadn't.
At this point, what's in your pitch deck?
It's just
because there's the cosmetic, but what's the business? What is this business that you need funded? Like, what are the items or elements in that?
I don't even remember. It was such a funny pitch. It was just imports, because I remember it was cost of importing, and then I was customs, and then it was like products. Those products, it was so expensive. I think it was the deck was worth like around 5 million. Because again, I had to calculate all these products. I can't just have 2 products.
Yes.
So I think maybe even the figure was scared him a little bit, because I was like, and this person has a lot of, you're thinking far ahead. You have your ambition is. I was like, yes, I know what I want, because I was certain. That time, because there was already super cosmetics, but again, it wasn't the range of products were not enough. It was just small. It wasn't.
And they were
like
investing they still are. They invest very little in terms of education, like what product you should use for what. And I think that's what you were doing mostly. Exactly. Yeah, and that's why you had that influence.
So because now that didn't work out, and then I was like, okay, now back to the drawing board. And then that time, I remember I had already friends in the industry, not necessarily hair care industry, but entrepreneurs who were friends, and we were hanging out. Then Julie, she sells wigs, human hair, wanted to move from her space at Greenhouse Mall. So she was moving from a space she was expanding her business to go to a bigger space. So her shop was very tiny. And I remember she was like, by the way, me, I'm moving. Do you want this space? And I was like, can I really start a retail shop there? I don't think it's the right location. Then I started thinking, what can I do with that space? Because again, the rent was only 60K. I'm like, I don't want to miss out on that space. Because again, I was like, I must do something now. This is the time. I have this money. What am I going to do?
Yeah. You're still employed.
I'm still employed. Like, what am I going to do? Then she kept pushing me, like, I've already given out my notice. Kama utaki. And then Julie is very persistent. Kama utaki, taenda. Amua. Do you know, I think overnight I was just like,
what's the worst that can happen?
Salon. I'm like, I'm doing a salon.
Are you for real?
Just like that. Just like that. And remember, I'm not a hairstylist, people. I'm not a hairstylist. I just took the leap of faith and said, I'm doing a salon. I thought about it and I was like, where, if I want to have hair looking like mine, where can I go to in Nairobi? Nowhere. At that time, it was just, I think, only Amadiva. But I was like, they can't do it the way I want it done. So why can't I start
Amadiva
something?
Is that salon at 14 Riverside?
It used to be at 14 Riverside.
It used to be before the Dusit thing.
Yeah, before the Dusit.
Yeah. And their prices were, it wasn't affordable.
It wasn't a small salon.
Yeah,
it was
not small. Yeah,
it was targeting women in corporate, high end. So I was like, okay, I'm doing this, and I'll hire people, train them to do this.
I mean, you can, if you do it on your
with my small money.
on
That
your
is
hair,
how-
you can
yeah.
train someone else.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. So that's how we got here. That's how we got to Spritz.
Oh my God.
I know. I tell people this story and they're like, "You're not serious." I'm like, eh.
Let me
it's
tell
just
you
like that.
what how it looks
Yeah.
from our end.
Yeah.
It looks very strategically executed because it's hit,
Yeah.
hit, bang.
Gosh, I didn't even know what I was doing. I didn't know, but do you know what? My boss at that time, when I was working at Capital Club, her name is Edna. Oh my goodness, she was the best. She was the best boss ever. In fact, I didn't even need. I'll send her a message after this. We leave here. She was the best. She believed in my dreams, and she never used to bother me. Ati, where are you? Do what? She knew, and she used to push me. Like, how far are you with it?
Go do it.
Hey, go do it. But also, I was very good at my job.
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't slacking at
You are
my.
not slacking
I was
at
not
your
slacking.
job. Yeah.
I was hitting my targets.
Yeah.
You know, members loved me. Like, I was good at my job. I was because our target was also like on events. I was hitting the events. I was good at my job.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was such an easy transition because she was also guiding me. She was like, "Oh, how far are you? Oh, I can also come and try to do my hair." That time I'm still working. I didn't know what I was doing. I had no idea.
Slow down. So you get the office, or rather the space.
I get the space and I'm like, okay.
Overnight you pay for the deposit.
I pay for the deposit. It was 60K. Again, I had like a million. I'm like 60K times 2. First of all, it's not even, I'm not paying the landlord. So remember, I'm paying Julie because Julie has been there for like 5 years.
Oh, I see.
So she has a great relationship with that landlord. So now even I think I paid in installments. I paid Julie. I'm like, Julie, I'll pay you in 3 installments. So it's like 20K, 20K.
The deposit.
Yeah, the deposit. I'm like, I'll pay you in installments. So it wasn't much. So I was saying this is just God who's brought this opportunity to me.
Right?
Yeah, I was just like, what are the odds?
Yeah.
Like just like that. It's a very tiny space. I was like, what can I do with this space? Then now again, I was totally overnight. I was like, let me do a salon. Then I started thinking of like the name, you know, the design, fast forward. We had everything in plan and we started doing our renovations.
Oh my God.
I think I started it was beginning of 2019.
Are you seeing how surprised I am?
Yeah.
What?
Imagine, most people don't, I've never really told this story, but most people don't know that it was just a by the way. By the way. I didn't even think it would get to where it is right now. And
I don't think it's a by the way. And here is the thing. I feel like for you to be successful as an entrepreneur, you must have a curious mind.
True.
And had you not started that journey on YouTube, or just, you know, you figured out your hair, now you're making your own hair, everybody is asking you how you do it, and you're like, I can just do these tutorials, and you ask your friend to come and help you, and now you're doing it, and then you're doing the YouTube. Had you not done that, this would not happen.
Yeah, there's that,
it's like,
there's that, and there's also that compassion. You know, most people think they can just be entrepreneurs. If you're selling these serviettes over here and you don't even know how they are made, how are you going to sell it? You need to be able to entice that customer to be able to buy into your product.
Yes.
Most people also lack that, and they feel like entrepreneurship is just like, oh, I'll just wake up, I go, I sell, I go back home. No, it's a lot.
It's not just about selling.
And it takes a toll on you, emotionally, physically, mental wise as well. Yeah. So yes, definitely it has to do with like my love for hair at that period of time, my curiosity, my hustlership.
Yes.
My hustlership. Like I really knew how to hustle. I knew how to hustle. Like anybody I would sell something to would buy. I knew I was a very good sales and marketer. So even with the salon, I knew that's what gave me the confidence. I knew I can sell anything.
Yeah, you can sell anything.
Yeah, and I'm going to. I'm not a stylist, but I'm going to sell this. And already I was like, I have this community of women following me who also want to have their hair looking like mine. So how will I get them to come to the salon?
Isn't it interesting? You were thinking you're not a stylist, and you were teaching us how to style our own hair. Why were you thinking you're not a stylist?
Because I can't do it on someone else. I'll do it on. I can't actually do it on someone else. You know. Yeah, so we started construction, innovations, nini. I'm so happy over there. I'm paying Julie in installments. You know, my life is sorted. I'm not parting away with like so many millions. It didn't take me a lot of money to start Spritz. Can I be honest with the amount?
Please.
It was like 1.5 million. Only.
Do you know?
To start Spritz.
that's when I came to your salon first.
Yes.
The very first one.
Yes.
And that's how now me and you met.
Yeah.
And it was probably just a little bit bigger than.
I call it a bedsitter.
It was small, and you had to raise the ground for where people wash to just create some.
I'll send for you images. You can post them for people to see.
But it was beautiful. Like. Yeah. According to me, I think it was.
Then it was aesthetically pleasing because that time there was this love for marble, you know.
It was beautiful.
Marble, black. It was different. You know, other salons in Nairobi at that time were like pink, sijui what, with flowers everywhere. This one was just gold.
It was gold and black
marble. It was,
I remember.
Very aesthetically pleasing.
Very, very nice.
Yeah. So we had only 4 stations, 2 sinks. Our reception desk was this small. And then again, working full time. So I had to like trust the lady at the reception to be like in charge. At that time, we used to have a book where we're writing our sales. I used to go there, I see, oh, we've only done 2 customers a day. I'm like, oh, slowly and slowly, she'll pick up.
Wow.
Imagine.
So now when you open, do you train?
Yes.
Do you, how like, what's that journey like?
Okay.
After now, yes, you're open. How
do I hire?
Yeah.
So, dude, I don't even remember how I got my receptionist, but I remember going on Facebook. I am looking for stylists. I'm like, I need somebody who can braid. I need somebody who can do something like mine. I went to Facebook. I was like searching hairstylist, looking, and then I came across a Rwandan guy. I think he's done your hair before. I still have that stylist. His name is Gerald. I came across him, and I remember Nancy is the one who took me.
Gerald. Was it the one who was doing like the 4 locks?
The 4 locks, yeah, he does cuts and color. I've been with him since we opened. So I went to, he used to be based at, what's it, Insurance Plaza, somewhere in town. Nancy took me to meet him. And I was like, oh, come, you know, and his Rwanda is not so good in communication. And I just met him, and he was like willing, he believed in me. Like, he didn't even know me, and this is a new salon. And he was willing to leave his space. I don't know, it must have been.
How did you convince him?
Power of, I don't know. I can't even remember what I told him.
Yeah.
But here he was willing to take that leap with me. I think maybe he saw again that, you know, that push. You see it in someone, that drive.
Yes.
Not everybody has it, but when you meet somebody, you will see.
You can see it.
And then again, I was getting popular online. So maybe he also saw and that time social media was picking up.
Maybe he was already a consumer of your content.
He didn't
know salons.
Most
salons, mtu anaendanga naambiwa, hebu fungua page ya Spritz. Unataka nywele gani? Yeah. Maybe he was like already a consumer of
then the rest
content.
of the stylists I did, I put up an ad on my page. They interviewed, I hired. So slowly I just trained them like that. And I remember one of my ladies who was a shampoo girl. Now she's my manager.
Wow.
I met her in town. You know, Apple Nation Center. She had been recommended by, I think, Maureen from Amadiva, the one who used to own Amadiva. I just met her there. We just had a conversation. I was like, you're hired. So it was more of a like, I've never had a team. I've never been in charge of people. So it was more of like, what am I doing? Am I doing it correctly? And again, I wasn't there for every day. I was working full time. So it was just the best thing because they believed in my vision,
brand,
my brand.
The vision,
They believed in that 100%, you know? So we opened, and then I think I trained them a little bit on like how they're supposed to wash, how they're supposed to pre-poo and detangle. So already those ladies had experience working in salon, so I was just fine-tuning it for them.
Yeah, changing and
because
making
now
it,
our clientele
owning your process, like adding your...
Yes, and then it was just natural hair clients who are coming to the studio. So slowly like that started growing. Then weekends, I would spend my weekends there at the salon. And weekdays also, I would leave work early, rush there. Yeah. Again, I was in sales, so I was always out of the office.
Yeah.
So when I'm out of the office, I'm running to check on the baby. I'm like, slowly, it just started picking up like that. Wow. And then I remember I was like, what can I do that is not in the market? So I identified a niche product or niche service that I introduced at Spritz that no other salon was doing. And that is what made Spritz blow.
What was that service?
Imagine crochet locks. You've done them, and you've done them
so many times. I love them.
There was no one doing them. I was the one who introduced them to the market.
That is true.
No one was doing them. That is
true.
No one was doing them. Yeah, I went to research there. I looked for my suppliers.
So where did you get the locks from? I remember, actually, I feel like it grew, that product sort of because you started with 4 locks, right? The dreadlocks, the
No. I started with crochet.
With crochet?
Yeah, crochet. Nobody was doing them. And people were tired of, okay, people, you know, as Kenyans or as women, we always like something different. Like right now, let's say Mali hair twists are trending. Everybody will do the same thing. Yeah, so people wanted something different. At that time, people were just doing braids, lines. That hair was not anywhere in the market.
Yeah.
Meaning, I just went, I did my own research and then imported the hair. Launched the hair on myself. Then there's another one, I think I used Nancy as a model. Like I just called my friends and
the
goddess locks.
Locks.
Do you know we were braiding people even at the reception?
It was full like this.
It was full. I only had 4 stations. Reception. That was now, I think, 5 months into the business, or 4 or 5 months into the business. Because we opened in May, and by the time we were in November, December, I was like, we are moving. This space is small for us. Yeah.
Wow.
I know, just so again, in business, you have to identify what is that will make you stand out. We can all be selling the same item,
yes,
but what service will I offer? What product will I sell? Or what service will I offer differently?
How do you differentiate?
Thank you.
Yourself.
You have to, because again, you're creating a brand.
Yes.
You don't want just to be known as that Salon. No. You want to be known as this big salon that does this and this and this and this.
Yeah.
So I always knew what my vision was. I was always thinking ahead. Remember, again, I was coached by my members, the ones I used to talk to. They were CEOs, they were owners of business. They were my friends. They even used to invite me to their kids' graduation.
It was just a blessing in disguise.
Imagine.
Totally.
It's definitely, I think if I wasn't working there, I would never be the Sheila I am today. Because that job paved the way for me.
Yes, absolutely.
Into being this serial entrepreneur that I am.
Can I tell you a story? I'm seated socializing. This is a while back, and somehow your name comes up, and this guy is a member of the club that you're talking about, and he tells us that chick came and gave me a pitch, and I wish I invested. It was just like, you should see her now. She's grown. I wish I gave her my money. Should have made, you know.
I was so naive back then. I didn't know. I had this contact of these people.
I've never seen someone expand so fast.
Yeah, we grew so fast. I didn't anticipate that growth. And then I think from the beginning, if there's one mistake I did, I never had good systems from the beginning.
Usually in salon, you just walk in. I walked in and they're like, did you book? Yeah. Did you make a booking? Yeah. And I'm like, no, but I couldn't even do a treatment.